This is the grid for the Inspired Dreamers. Those of you out there, keep an eye out for these positions as the race goes on. Adrian Amit, P1, he has speed, he is fast, and he is young. Harry Lim, fantastic performance. As more seat time comes, he's growing in confidence and stature, and he is putting down the lap time. Arman Chia, the fastest guy in practice, and Jonathan Lee always hanging around the top 4 spots as well. In P5, once again, we have the 503 car of Hanif Sweep, followed by 501 of Sanjay Madhav, and 521 Zanwei, Shazwan Bari, Farah Irdina, and Adam Lobo, rounding up the entire grid. 20 more seconds to go for race start. As we go here, about 10 more seconds until the lights will go off. This is the race start for the Inspired Dreamers. The lights come on, we are ready, the revs build, and it's lights out and away we go. And a spirited start away from the grid, and Adrian Amit firmly in the lead of the race as they'll power down into turn 1. But here we go, Harry Lim on the attack on the inside line. Oh, here we have, whoa, will he be touched? Yes indeed, Janway being touched by I will believe that is Hanif Sweep, and Farah Idina spinning it around for lap 1, turn 1.
Well, she's back in the element, and unfortunately in the grass where she used to ride horses, but at least she managed to gain back 2 positions away from those Bari and Lobo, who have actually spun it around, so she's not at least plumb last. Meanwhile, up in front, Adrian Amit survived the initial onslaught that Harry Lim put on the start. He didn't get the best of starts. Oh, put it behind Chia and Lee, nearly going out completely.
Similar rear ends, Jonathan Lee and Arman Chia. These two are going to be out for blood. They're going to be definitely trying to hunt down each other as Hanif Sweep just swipes the wall a little bit, and also Farah Erdina as well on the insides. Turn 5s and 6. This is a precarious position. None of them want to be in as they navigate this track for the first lap. The first laps are always the most dangerous and exciting moments of a race. Oh! Wow!
But there you go, can Farah avoid? Yes, she does. Amazingly now she's up into the top 5. Out of all of that, well, she have no objections to that one.
I'm sure she has absolutely no objections, Judge. There we go. Farah Urdina now hunting down Jonathan Lee for P4. So Jonathan Lee now with a bit of a tangle with Arman Chia down on turns 7 and 8. And as a result, both of them lost positions, both of them lost time. But just look at the front of the grid. Adrian Amit not exactly going away. Harry Lim really close at P2, just 1.7 behind. It was 1 second before, but he had a bit of a slide down at turn 14 and is now 1.8 behind.
Well, that was a hairy moment for him, wasn't it? Because he nearly lost the rear end.
Hairy moment for Harry Lim.
But getting it all back up. Adri runs wide, coming into the final corner. Wow, he went in very deep there. Adri, though, he might be having the pace here, but he's really not settled in just yet to this race.
Indeed, Adrian Amit not really settled in, and Harry Lim a little bit behind him, but the rest of the grid are slicing and dicing with Farah Erdina in the middle of a 4-car sandwich here down into turn 1, lap 2.
Yep, into turn 1 again. And we're talking the first lap. Can you imagine all that drama?
It's only the first lap, yes.
Yeah, all that drama happened in the very first lap. I can't even foresee what's going to happen for the rest of the race.
Yes, and indeed everyone is now settling down a bit. Arman Chia coming in, steaming hard with the pace. He's going to make up this position. He's going to try to clear Farah Erdina as soon as possible, because the guy that he really wants to hunt down will be Jonathan Lee in P4.
We know how fast he is, especially after the practice session. He dives on the inside. Farah didn't put up much of a defense there. I think she had no objections to that one. It was coming real hot, and he just was able to stop in time. No way that she could defend that one.
Clean move from Arman Chia on Farah Erdina. Now he is free to hunt down Jonathan Lee. As of now, the first lap times are not indicative of their pace, but we will see them slowly coming in as the second laps and the third and the fourth laps slowly builds in until we come to a conclusion 10 laps later to finish the Inspired Dreamers race. But as we are looking at right now, Arman Chia leading away from Farah Erdina, only 1 second behind. Now into turn 9. It's going to be a bit spirited.
Whoa!
Janway almost losing it on the entry to turn 9.
As you can see, Janway nearly hit the back of Farah Erdina there. He was going to hit a barrister instead of a barrier.
Yeah, indeed. Janway was about to be that guy, indeed. Just so close to being that guy. Now here we go. Adria Amit now in the lead, 3 seconds away from Harry Lim. Now our focus is on Jonathan Lee because right behind him, that's Sanjay. That is the podium position gone.
And would you believe it? That opens up for the rest of the field to come in, including Chia, Erdina, and Janway. So Farah might actually have an opportunity for a podium here. Would you believe it?
There we go indeed. Harry Lim and Adria Amit in the race of their own, but behind them, Jonathan Lee and Arman Chia slicing and dicing. Half a second separates both of them. This is for position. This is for the final podium place that we're going to see here today at the Sepang International Circuit as part of Porsche Esports Challenge. Now into turn 1. What will he do? Stays behind for one more lap this time around.
But Chia actually might have an opportunity. Lee runs very wide, cuts across him. Luckily, no collision there. He still, remember, already had a collision at the start of the race when they were going through 7 and 8. Just actually misjudging it, and mercifully, though, they opened up the barrier like Noah's Ark, and everyone went through. Moses, and everyone went through.
Moses, like Moses. All right, here we go. This is it. Arman Chia on the inside into turn 4. No quarters given, none taken as well as he makes up the position from Jonathan and Arman Chia into P3.
They're still going at it though, side by side they go through 5 and 6. They touch. If they touch again, Farah will be there to actually take the podium. This is real knife-edge stuff between just Jonathan Lee and Arman Chia.
Oh, side by side into 7 and 8. No, wow. Everyone's giving enough, just about enough respectful racing space. Jonathan Lee has now the run on Arman Chia. He will have the inside line into turn 9. Both of them blocking each other. Fantastic racing down into turn 9. Slowing it down successfully. Both of them equal as well. Whoa.
They got it slowed in time, but a bit too much come there from Jonathan. Oh! They both spin! They've actually spun it around. Where's Farah? There she is. Is she going to get through? No! Oh. She's actually hit the side of Jonathan Lee. It's a case of who can get it restarted to get into P3 and goes through Sanjay Madhav.
Through goes Sanjay Madhav into P3 as well. Wow, what a fantastic race so far. 5:01, Sanjay Madhav taking advantage of the absolute melee that happened at turn 11. Wow. Here we go. Sanjay Madhav is continuing on. He spun out on this particular turn just 2 laps ago, thinking that he lost that podium position, but now it's come back within his grasp. Sanjay Madhav firmly now in P3.
I think we thought Farah was going to get that position, but unfortunately she fell off the high horse.
Yes, fell off that horse indeed. That horse from Stuttgart. All right, here we go. Arman Chia once again on the charge. He's now behind Janway and takes the position. Whoa! There's Janway touching with Shazwan Bari there as everyone else goes past, and Janway is now in P9. Hanif Sweet going by with the sweep as well.
Driver update now. In fact, we're watching Farah Erdina on screen. It's unbelievable how the race went from as low to the highest of highs and back to somewhere in between.
Yeah, just like the price of a certain cryptocurrency out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Inspired Dreamers, and this is the final race. Farah Erdina experienced the highs of highs, and she crashed down to earth after a series of crashes with the cars in front of her. But now in prime position to lock out the podium is Sanjay Madhav in P3. Jonathan Lee only 2.8 seconds, only about 3 seconds behind Sanjay, but in the lead we have almost forgotten to mention Adria Amit and Harry Lim firmly in front, but Harry is doing a fantastic job keeping up with Adria in the front, and Adria just did a 2:08 lap. That's fantastic pace.
That's really fast for the kid, as Adam Lobo has another spin. We need to go to Adria right now. Is he going to clear Adam Lobo? He's coming through just about.
Oh yes,
that was very close, and Lobo comes back to rejoin the race, but it has not been the best of runs for him. It's been an absolute baptism of fire for the name of the first prophet.
Yes, baptism of fire indeed. Adria Three laps completed. Coming here to put down the lap time for another one. Oh, as Hanif Suib spins around and he's now nearly clips Zhang Wei when he did that instead. Zhang Wei now back into P8, the positions that he has lost as a result of contact with Farah Erdina and the boys up in front as well. Arman Chia once again trying to hunt down Jonathan Lee, but interestingly, Sanjay Madhav only a second ahead, so this is for podium places.
Can you imagine that? After all of that, it's still unsettled for the podium, and the factor in why it's going to get complicated, Adam Lobo is going to be lapped again after this, and he's actually whacked the barriers on the start-finish line. This might get even crazier.
Let's see what happens as Adam Lobo, as these three, Jonathan Lee, Sanjay Madhav, will soon encounter Adam Lobo. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at Adam Lobo now. He's now in turn 3 as Sanjay Madhav now duels with Jonathan Lee and Arman Chia just behind them. All three of them separated by no more than 2 seconds as they all go on to turn 3 of the Sepang International Circuit for the 5th time around this lap. So now in front of them, only by a few more seconds, is Adam Lobo, and they will encounter him soon. Let's see if anything interesting comes with this interaction between Adam Lobo and the chasing back of Sanjay Madhav. Arman Chia. Oh!
Well, he was caught in 6K there for a second, sliding as Arman Chia spins. That gives one free position for multiple drivers, including Farah Erdina. She comes up to P6 now. And if you look at a roundabout way, this battle for the podium is still on, and Farah realistically still has a chance of getting it.
Yes, indeed. But now the battle will be on for podiums between Sanjay Madhav and Jonathan Lee. And will Adam Lobo come to become a factor in this race as they power down to turn 9? As let's go, Jonathan Lee on the offensive, and in front of them, Adam Lobo serving as the wild card in this entire battle between Sanjay and Jonathan Lee.
Well, he locked it out of there. He's actually into the grass, and that's going to be turned safely from the rest of the field. There's Shazwan Bari, he's up to P5, and P6 is Farah Erdina. They get it through. Oh, that's very close. That really became a near tragedy for Arman Chia.
Indeed, Arman Chia trying to work his way back up again as he now falls behind Farah Erdina and Shazwan Bari as well. But now the battle is still on between Sanjay Madhav and Jonathan Lee, separated by no more than half a second as they power down the back straight of Sepang International Circuit. Here we go. Jonathan Lee has the run on Sanjay Madhav, has the advantage on the inside line as well, breaks down into turn 15, has the position, and Sanjay Madhav will have to concede the position.
Shazwan, meanwhile, is watching brief here. If these two were to start fighting even harder and they take each other out, that's a free podium for the taking.
So there you go, Jonathan Lee with the P3 and the podium positions locked in, but not secure yet as Sanjay Madhav attempts an attack on the inside, but Jonathan Lee slows down his car just on time. But now he will have the advantageous line out of turn 2 as Sanjay Madhav has the opportunity to put down the power ever so slightly earlier than Jonathan Lee. What will happen to this battle as they all climb up the hill to turn 4? Farah Erdina now very close to Arman Chia. Arman Chia has just overtaken Farah Erdina.
Yeah, that might have been an easy move out of our sights. So Arman Chia now sets his eyes back up to that crazy battle for the podium that has been going on throughout the entire race, and it's still not over yet. Amazingly, we're only just halfway through. We still have the other half of the race to go.
Yeah, let's go. So once again, to those of you just joining us here, the leader is Adrian, our 9-year-old genius, boy genius, in the lead, following behind Harry Lim. Very respectable performance from Harry, but the battle that we are looking at right now is for 3rd position between Jonathan Lee and Sanjay Madhav, and they are separated by only 1 second as they power down into turn 9. This is where mistakes will be made. This is where things might get a little bit hairy.
Absolutely, given the fact that both of these guys have been in close quarters combat since the very start of the race. Yes, Madhav was actually a bit outside of that, but he had to battle other drivers along the way. Adrian, meanwhile, 207.9. What a lap! Jakes that one. That is an amazing lap from Adrian. He could have easily qualified for any one of the other categories.
Fantastic performance. Adrian firmly in the lead, 6 laps down, and another 3 more to go as he crosses the line. Sanjay Madhav still dealing it with Jonathan Lee. Neither of them are going away, and just lurking in the background is none other than Shazwan Bari.
Shazwan then, he'll be happy to walk away with a podium here. He came in with lots of expectations. I know because I've been chatting with him as well outside of the broadcast to just say how's his expectations. Well, he's coming in at least to hope to finish strongly.
Yes, and right behind him as well, Arman Chia. He's the guy that's coming up and down, up and down, up and down. He has the speed clearly, finishing in practice, first practice in P1. So he definitely has the speed, but he has not been able to show that to us at the moment as Jonathan Lee pulls a bit of a gap on Sanjay Madhav, solidifying, maybe not solidifying, making his third position ever more safer from the clutches of Sanjay Madhav.
Yep, with that pretty much secured, unless we jinx it again.
Yep.
Something might happen here, but it looks as though Jonathan Lee may have sewn up this position quite safely. He's building a bit of a gap. Last time out was 11 flat, while Sanjay was a 12.9, so he gained 1.9 seconds that time round. He's got a bit between his teeth finally after surviving the initial onslaughts.
Indeed, it's up. Oh, somebody just went off the track.
It's Sanjay. Sanjay Madhav has actually dropped it.
And now Shazwan Bahri is like, thank you very much. Off I go. So one more guy to go, one more mistakes to be made before I now am on the podium.
Yes, he might say he has the higher ground, but he has the high ground only on Sanjay in this particular case, as Arman Chia is now working on the back of Sanjay Madhav. Arman tries to go through where he came a cropper with Jonathan Lee incidentally, and amazingly they made it through safely.
Safely, unscathed, but now Arman Chia on the offensive, on the inside as well, taking that position cleanly from Sanjay Madhav. Sanjay just outbraked himself into turn 9, but no, sorry, my bad, he managed to slow it down.
Wow, he managed to get it stopped right on the dot as Xia tries to go around the wider way and unfortunately loses so much time.
Yes, indeed. Sanjay Madhav, fantastic defense, I must say, from Sanjay, putting the car in all the right spots so that Arman is having a difficult time trying to pass. Yes. Whoa, it's getting a bit frustrating as well, I think. So now down turn 14, and Arman Chia will have the position from Sanjay Madhav.
And again, Sanjay made a mistake there. That was easy pickings for Eric Chance. Oh, there's a spin for Adrian Ahmed. Would you believe it? The race leader has dropped it. Well, that looked for a second to be quite easily as sewn up, but he's dropped it once again. We saw it before, how he could actually have a slight mistake while he was on the power at turn 4. It's done it here in the race.
I think maybe he's, Adrian is probably doing time attacks, He's trying to set the fastest lap that he can do. As a result, he has dropped it. Now he cannot drop it one more time, or he will lose the position to Harry Lim, which is harrying him from behind, 5 seconds behind.
Wow, Harry thought for a second that he might have gotten it. Yes, he had Harry moments in between.
Yes.
And now he's trying to just harry Adri all the way to the end.
All the way to the end, indeed. So now for P3, Jonathan Lee solidifying his position there with the gap of now close to 18 seconds is Jonathan Lee over Shazwan Bahri. But still, any mistakes, whoa. Seems like Shazwan has now clawed back that time significantly.
Adam Lobo, that's Adam Lobo. Sanjay again.
Oh!
Second straight lap. Would you believe it? 2 consecutive laps. He dropped it in the same corner, and now he's going to give the position to Si Zhangwei.
There you have it. Zhangwei comes across. Oh, do they touch? Yes, they do. Oh, no racing room left. They're now going out to the outside of the turns as they come back into turn 6. Everything is now well. Sanjay really needs to buckle down and try to attack, but immediately he goes on the offensive. Oh, they touch on the apex of turn 7.
Oh, that was very opportunistic there. And Sanjay, in his absolute desperation to get back the position, has taken it out. Well, it's a case of who gets the car restarted faster to take the position, and it's Zhangwei who has actually lost out on that one.
Oh, what a fun race to watch. And Sanjay Madhav trying his best to go up once again. A little bit of a contact, but now Farah Erdina. Oh, it's so close. Whoa, here we go. Farah Erdina so close to the car. I believe that was Adam Lobo.
Yep. Otherwise, oh no, in fact,
no.
She's got to go off. And luckily, though, manages to get it out of the gravel trap. Otherwise, she'll better call Sol.
All right there. So this is the penultimate lap. Adrian Amit will have a 6-second gap to complete 2 more tours around Sepang circuit. He's looking to be in control, and as of now the closest battle on track will be between Shazwan Bari and Arman Hamilton, which will Arman Chia, which will be 2-3 seconds behind, and this is going to be for P4 and P5. So there you have it. Let's look at Shazwan Bari, which is in P4 right now. He will have Arman Chia chasing him down 2 seconds behind. This will be for P4. Jonathan Lee. Oh, Harry Lim has a bit of a Harry moment.
Yes, another Harry moment, and unfortunately, he found the grass this one. So that pretty much gives the race to Adri by default.
By default, Harry Lim. But it must be said that commendable performance from Harry Lim. He is fast. He has been consistent, barring this one mistake, and is thoroughly deserving of his P2 position. But Jonathan Lee, 20 more seconds behind, unable to capitalize on the mistake that Harry has just made. So Harry has built himself that gap. He deserved that gap, and he unfortunately has lost a bit of that advantage, but still firmly in second position.
Yeah, he still has the lead in front of Harry Lee by about 20 seconds. So he can just coast it away to the end. What was a 5-second disadvantage towards Adrian now became a 20-second disadvantage, so he lost 15 in that spin alone. Meanwhile, Shazwan Bari and Arman Chia gotta go at it. Shazwan then up to P4. This is what he wanted, a top 5 finish, but he is having to defend here coming into the last lap. Adrian's crossed the line. He's bringing it home here for what has been a comprehensive victory, even with a few blemishes.
There you have it. Even with a few little blemishes, Adrian has been thoroughly dominating, and entire great performance from him in the entire race, and he's on his final lap. As we take a look at this battle between Arman Chia and this will be Shazwan Bari as well on the penultimate lap. Both of them will have one more lap around Sepang International Circuit. Outbreaking move from Arman Chia on Shazwan Bari. Shazwan Bari has the position. They touch out of 15, and Shazwan Bari still is ahead of Arman Chia.
Yeah, across the line, and they were actually tapping door to door all the way to start finish line. Yes, we are actually looking at the timing screen right now. It is confirmed Arman and Shazwan did touch each other. Visually, we thought there might have been a bit of a counter steering action to avoid the accident, but they did go door handle to door handle.
Door handle. I mean, just luckily that no door mirrors have been harmed during the process of their duels. So we do not see anything falling out of these cars. They are still functioning as well. But Arman Chia will be looking to take this last 5 kilometers to put one over Shazwan Bari. Shazwan Bari, though, defending really well on this last lap around Sepang International Circuit. So let's take a look at now our race leader, Adrian Amit, as he will finally do this final lap around this track. Number 67, 567 as part of the Inspired Dreamers. Adrian Amit has been a true inspiration to us all. Only 9 years old, but comes with all the speed, maturity, and the entire package is Adrian Amit. He crosses turn 15 for the last time as he powers down the main straight at Sepang International Circuit. He swings the car around, crosses the finish line, and wins the Inspired Dreamers race for himself. 567 P1.
Inspiring drive in the Inspired Race Dreamers here. What a performance from Adrian Amit. The name on the side, which should be putting number 1 now. As you can see, he locks up the brakes for one last time just to do a victory donut. Yes, he is. He is doing donuts at turn number 1 to cap off an absolutely brilliant performance. Another feather in his cap.